Okay, we are live, everybody. How's everybody doing? Can you see me and hear me? Okay. Okay. Looking good over here. All right, beautiful. Unfortunately, Restream is still not working well with Facebook, so this stream is not getting dual streamed to Facebook, which is very annoying to me. I know only one or two people watch over there, but still, I want things to work. No, Scott, I don't think so. Since last year, Scott, I probably gained like 5 pounds. I don't really gain weight all that fast, but I don't think I've lost weight. Thank you, Marcus. Somebody remembered. Yes, it's my birthday in 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. So we're going to give a couple more minutes for people to gather up. This was a big win. I know it's kind of late, though, so I don't think there's going to be any kind of a massive turnout here. And if there's anybody here who is going to watch on Facebook but can't because Restream isn't working, I'm sorry. I don't think very many people do, but it's still nice. Well, Matthew Zane, can you blame me? Drew Lock did nothing that whole game until that last drive. Drew Lock played this whole game like the team was treating him like he was Tom Tupa, just terrified to do anything except check it down and hand it off. It was like Jimmy Garoppolo in the NFC title game against the Packers. Remember that game? All right. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes here, and then we can get underway. Right guy, thank you for the 4.99. Nice. The Hawks got the dub on my birthday. I'm now 22. Very nice, right guy. It was a hell of a game. Hell of a win. Jalen Carter had one sack on lock. Other than that, I don't know. They didn't stop the run that well. I might, Austin. I might not. I'll definitely stream on Twitch tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll stream on YouTube. Yeah, I think Wagner's run out of gas. And, that's not even me hating on him, really. It's not his fault, but he's old. And we ask him to do stupid stuff. Okay, so got about 90 people in here right now. People are still going to be piling in as we go along here. But I want to talk a little bit about this game. Seahawks win 20-17 with a dramatic last-second touchdown throw by Drew Lock to JSN and a defensive hold that involves an interception by Julian Love. Seahawks offense spent most of this game just kind of waddling around, not really doing much of anything. Locke was just trying to get the ball out of his hands as soon as possible. He did do a good job of avoiding sacks, and he didn't turn the ball over at all, but he had about 120 passing yards going into that final drive. So it was a really weird passive game plan and a really weird passive game from Locke. I don't understand why you would give Drew Lock $4 million and then be afraid to let him do anything when he gets in the game. For most of this game, either he was afraid or the team was afraid to utilize him. I don't know which one it was, but it seemed like he just was in a hurry to get the ball out of his hands. There were maybe 4 plays in this game where Locke threw the ball well short of the first down marker on third down. And I was confused because I'm like, I thought Drew Lock had a big arm. Let's see the big arm. Like, if this is how we're going to use Drew Lock, we should have just gotten some veteran minimum guy or drafted somebody like DTR. What's the difference? And then on that last drive, we finally decided, you know what? We don't have a choice. He's got to open it up. He hit several throws down the field. Metcalf finally got involved in the action. By the way, Metcalf won me my fantasy game and probably just won me some money. We'll see how much. It depends on next week. But I got bailed out on that last drive by Metcalf, and now I've won my fantasy game. JSN, not a huge game, but he makes the big, awesome touchdown catch right at the end. And that was just enough to get us over the finish line. Because K9 put the team on his back for a little bit there. K9, probably our best player. I think K9 had one of the best games of his career. So, Ken Walker, probably the MVP of the game. I know that's weird because he didn't have anything to do with that final drive, but he was a machine for most of this game, and he had very little to work with because our interior offensive line is cheeks. So, shout out K9. I thought the tackles played pretty good. Cross and Lucas both held their own against a good Philly pass rush. I mean, it's talented. I don't know if it's good. So, yeah, the offense, it was tough. It was really awkward for a little while there, but they came up big right at the end there. And here we are, holding a win because of a 2-minute, 92-yard touchdown drive. Well, minute 30. Not even minute 30. So I'm happy about the offense. I'm happy that Metcalf finally got the ball at the end. I'm excited to see where things go from here. There were some things in this game that encouraged me. I will say that Fant and Lockett both had rough games. By the way, I have their stats up on the screen to my left, just trying something a little different here. There were a lot of things on offense in this game that I didn't like. We had multiple false starts, which is really bad because you're at home. We threw short of the sticks like 4 times on third down, which was bad. I don't think it worked once. We had opportunities to go for it on fourth down and didn't take it. And we wasted 2 timeouts early in the fourth quarter that we ended up almost really needing, including on a fourth down where we got the snap off. Pete uses a timeout, which allows the Eagles to challenge the previous play, which gets overturned, which means we can't go for it. So Pete using that timeout was just a complete disaster all around. So there are things about the process on offense, like Evan Brown holding on a give-up play. That kind of stuff tells me the team was not well prepared coming into this game. But they got it together at the end. They finally started utilizing what they have to the best of their ability. And I'm proud of them. And that's kind of how I feel about the defense, too. The defense didn't play amazing. There was no pressure on Hurts, but they did tackle better, I think. They did get run on a good amount, but the Eagles are going to run the ball on most teams. And I do think that at the end of the day, Hurts dropped back to pass like 31 times and they had less than 150 net yards. Leonard Williams was a monster out there. I think Mafe made a couple nice plays. Let's see who else here. Obviously, Julian Love is the star of the show here. He played a really good game. I liked what Jordan Brooks did. Mike Jackson, I thought was awesome actually. And honestly, at this point, I think we just need to keep Woolen on the bench. I don't know what's going on there, but it's not working. And at this point, Michael Jackson actually tackles, actually sticks his nose in there. That's most of it. That's really about it. Dre'Mont Jones got hit with a couple penalties, which was really annoying. I don't really have too much else to say other than that. I think everything I just said kind of covers the obvious stuff. Oh, DJ Dallas, like the him letting the ball hit the ground every single time on punt returns is driving me crazy. It's really starting to get to me now. So, with all that being said, I'm now going to go ahead and open it up to the chat. You guys know most of the rules, but I'll go over them again. I'm going to reply to as many chat comments and questions as possible over the next, I'd say, hour or hour plus. And that's how the show will basically go. So go ahead and leave your comments in the chat and I'll try to get to them. I probably won't be able to get to all of them because of volume. If you send in your chat as a super chat or a tip, I'm guaranteed to see it because if it's a donation, then of course I'll get to it. That's just politeness. If you are a channel member, it's more likely that I'll see your comment and get to it because visually it shows up differently in the chat window. And that is basically how the show will go. Couple things you can do to help me out. Please like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are 34 subscribers short of the December sub goal. We should get there, especially now. Also, if you want to go above and beyond that, you can become a channel member for $2, $5, or $15 a month. We are well short of the December member goal, but that's where we need to get in order to get another emoji slot for members. You can also pledge to my Patreon, and that's mostly about it. Super chats and tips, pretty self-explanatory. Click the link at the top of the description if you want a tip. And I think that is really about all there is to say. So let's just go ahead and open it up now. Hey, Brendan, what do you think our record will be in the final 3 games will be and our toughest opponent? We should win out. We should win out. As long as we play relatively well, we should win out. The Steelers are awful now. So I feel like we're gonna win out. Like the Steelers are clearly the best team, and they're really not good. Hey Brendan, sorry about missing the post game stream last week. I went out after the game and felt like I could miss one stream. Yeah, Austin, that's fine. There was nothing to say in that game stream anyway. Brendan, please make another video on DJ Dallas. I mean, there's not much to say. He just is really, really scared trying to return punts. He just looks like he's scared all the time. That's really all I would say about it. Like, he just looks scared to catch punts, and it's become a problem. How's Rams schedule looking for the ROS? Well, that's the thing. The Rams schedule looks good. Like, they're going to probably win out because they get the Niners, who are probably resting their starters in Week 18. Kyler Murray making the Cardinals more difficult? Well, sure. I'm sure he does. But at the same time, that's still a bad team that really should not be that motivated to win. Woolen barely got to play. Well, I don't know what's going on with Woolen, but it feels like he's basically just gotten benched because he can't tackle. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. But it seems like the coaching staff has kind of given up on him for now. I don't think it's a permanent thing, but I do think a permanent thing, but I do think that maybe for the rest of this season we don't see him. I thought that you were high on Dallas. I was, and then he started playing bad. I think we were too conservative with the offense until the final drive. I mean, here's the thing. For most of that game, I just felt like we didn't trust Locke and we wanted him to just get the ball out of his hands quickly. So, I mean, it kind of worked, but we weren't productive. I think we should probably root for Rams to win out. I'm going to make a video about that tomorrow, Austin, but short version is I kind of agree. We need a new QB, though. I think we're fine at quarterback. Quarterback's not really my concern right now, Hwang. Maybe Woolen is being disciplined for something off camera. I wonder what it could be. We rooting for the Rams or Saints this Thursday? Honestly, I'm just going to root for the Rams and hope the Saints lose their next two games. Or, well, actually lose out. But I think it's more likely the Saints fade out than the Rams fade out. Now, none of this matters if the Seahawks win out. If the Seahawks win out, they're almost definitely in. I think Jamal Adams should sit on the bench the rest of the year. I don't even think it's a decision anymore. Like, you have to. If you don't, then what's the message you're sending? We don't care about winning. We just want to play the guys who make the most money. If Saints get flushed, that's good. Well, they have at Rams and then they have at Tampa Bay. If they lose those two games, it's GG. And that can happen. Is JSN Offensive Rookie of the Year? No. Guys, CJ Stroud is maybe the best rookie quarterback ever, and Sam Laporta might be the best rookie tight end ever. Locke needs... No, he doesn't. See, I knew this was going to happen. The Drew Lock people can't just, like, be happy about a good thing. They have to be overreacting and delusional. See, they can't just like be like, "Oh, he had a nice game-winning drive." It has to be about it. Now they have to make it a whole thing. DK closing in on 1,000 yards quick. Yeah, he'll probably get there, but who cares? I don't know. Bulk stats are the last thing on my mind right now. Mr. Joe, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the channel. Wait, why is it good for the Rams to win out? Well, I'm not really thinking about the seed. I'm not really thinking about the seed, Hwang. The thing is, I think it's just more likely the Saints lose their next two than... I mean, the Rams have two relatively easy wins after this Saints game. Locke bought himself another 4 years in this league with tonight's game. Happy for him. I mean, he belongs in the NFL. He belongs in the NFL. But, like, we don't have to... I mean, we don't have to make this something that it's not. I don't know what the heck happened in the first 58 minutes of that game, but we were treating Drew Lock, or Drew Lock was treating himself like he was Dylan Morris. Like, we didn't let him do anything. And then that last drive, he's Warren Moon. If we trade Adams, what is he worth? We're not going to trade Adams, guys. Nobody's trading for Adams. He's getting cut and he's retiring because his body is shot. Eagles fan here, you guys earned that win. Jalen can't be taking deep shots like that. Yeah, that confused me. He threw it right into double coverage. Who are you hoping we land in the draft with our first pick at this point? I would really like Graham Barton or Cooper Bebe, honestly. That's kind of my favorite. One last swing at Waldron. Is it just me or do like half our plays on offense look like a Friday walkthrough? There is something very labored about our offense. I don't know how else to define it other than that. What do you think about Michael Penix Jr.? I don't know. You're going to have to protect him so well. Yeah, guys, remember the Rams play the Giants in week 17, which should be an easy win, and then they play the 49ers in week 18, which will be an easy win if the Niners are resting starters, which they probably will. If the Niners lose to the Ravens, they ain't benching anyone in week 18, but they have the tiebreaker on the Eagles and Cowboys, and I think they have the tiebreaker on the Lions. So I'm pretty sure they can lose one more game, and it's cool. So it felt like that terrible XUWOC was calling plays for the first 58 minutes. It was like, yeah, it was weird. It was like we thought Drew Lock was Tim Tebow. I spent most of that game sitting there thinking Drew Lock has a big arm. I'd like to see it once or twice. Yeah, but they can't lose two. That's true. The Eagles are probably going to win out. Can you remember a better win than this one in recent past? I mean, does beating Denver last year count? That's a little different. I know. I don't think Adams was really hurt. I think he was benched. I mean, Adams is always hurt, Corey. Like, he's perpetually hurt. Let's be real here. Hey, Rip. Welcome. I haven't seen you in years, man. What's up? Rip used to single-handedly, like, fund my streams. I remember. Rip would come in here and he would drop these giant donations just over and over and over again. And this was back right after I got monetized years ago. So nobody else was really donating because my audience was so small. But Rip would just come in here with the big donos over and over and over again. It was he was awesome, but I haven't seen him in a while. Have you changed your mind on Jamal? I mean, it's clearly not working. If he had never gotten all those injuries, it probably would have worked. If Pete Carroll had used him correctly. But it's not working anymore. There's no point in sticking in with it. Yeah, Rip. If that's true, Rip, you should go on the Caleb Hammer show with he does the financial audit and he yells at people because they spend money on stupid stuff when they have credit card debt. Remember when we almost didn't get Drew Lock in free agency? Man, that was a great deal and trade for him as well. I mean, for $4 million, he should be able to do stuff like that. You know, it's kind of interesting how this stuff happens. It's really interesting how this stuff happens. Like, remember when Wilson got hurt against the Rams, and then Geno went in the game and immediately led a 98-yard touchdown drive? And now Geno's hurt, Locke goes in, and it's not exactly the same, but Locke leads a game-winning 92-yard touchdown drive. Like, I don't know, that's spooky. What do you think was our biggest improvement on both sides of the ball since last week? Um, I think our tackling was better. Assuming we went out a Ravens or Saints win sets us up against the Lions in the wild card. I mean, obviously we usually beat the Lions, but I gotta admit that Lions offense, we are gonna have to work hard to keep up. Daisy in 23, thank you for the 4.99. Cheers to the W. Yeah. I mean, I already see a couple people in my comments saying stuff like, "Oh, draft picks. We're not gonna fire Carroll." Like, guys, I don't. Come on, guys. Nothing about that stuff is guaranteed. But what is guaranteed is that we just won this game. Like, that's guaranteed because it happened and nobody can take it away from us. That Lions Seahawks game back in week 2 felt like a playoff environment. Yeah, I don't know. I know we always beat the Lions or whatever, but if we play the Lions in the playoffs, I'm still going to be like, man, Goff is going to slice and dice us up because we can't get to the quarterback. Quandre Diggs had a nice tackle on 3rd and 6 to force a field goal, which ended up kind of winning the game. I'm not hating on Quandre Diggs at the moment. I know Geno is still our starter, but does this throw a bit of a monkey wrench into the quarterback situation? No, I don't think so. Generally speaking, in the NFL, you don't lose your job because of injury. That's considered like inappropriate. And the last time Geno Smith played, he threw for 300 and like 30 yards and had 4 touchdowns on the road against the Cowboys. And Drew Lock did nothing until the last drive. Like let's not make this something that it's not, people. I liked Jamal as a player before we got him, but man, what an absolute disaster that trade was. It happens. But now it's like, what are you going to do about it? Okay, I mean, good for KJ Wright. I appreciate the fact that KJ Wright thinks that, but I seriously doubt that's going to actually come into play here. KJ Wright says a lot of things, and as we're finding out tonight to a certain extent, a lot of them are not true. This defensive scheme is still awful. Decides play calling duties were stripped. Not sure why Pete is keeping this stupid scheme, man. I hate it. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's still so much soft zone garbage in this defense. There's still so much easy completions on 3rd and medium and 3rd and short. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this offense that is just, I'm sorry, defense that is untenable. But what I can say, the one thing I'll say about Pete, because this week we were wondering, was Pete Carroll losing the locker room? The answer is no. I guess not. If Pete Carroll had lost the locker room the way KJ was describing, then there's no way we win this game. Walker looked amazing. Beast Mode 2.0 coming up. Yeah, Walker was special tonight. He said his main push was for people to sit on the bench and personnel to be changed for a win. What personnel did we change other than Jamal Adams, who was injured? I guess Woolen, right? Yeah, I mean, if you're going to compare JSN to the other receivers we could have gotten at that point in the draft, Addison has better numbers, but that's because Addison's in a situation where he can put up more numbers. And Quentin Johnson sucks. Who's the other receiver who got in the first round? Who was the other first round receiver? JSN, Addison, Quentin Johnson. Oh, Flowers. Flowers has been good. But again, he's like a top option in that offense. And JSN's still the number 3. Last week, everyone was trashing Drew Lock and Pete. Now everyone wants to keep him. It's the nature of sports fans, I think, to react in a extreme way at all times. But, me doing this here on YouTube, it's really important that I try to stay even keeled at all times. Yeah, Addison's good, but he also gets way more opportunities than JSN. What does most need to draft next, linebacker or tight end? We definitely need tight ends this offseason. Who does JSN remind you of? Kind of Amon Ra. Why would Radigan bat the ball down on that punt? I guess he just doesn't know the rules. It's the only thing I can think of. He doesn't know the dang rules. And that sucks. Yeah, thank you, Marcus. Yes. Well, it's my birthday in 1 hour and 45 minutes. Did we come out of the game healthy? I think so, Ian. I think so. Mike Morris will be ready for next year. I would think so. He got injured so early this season. Thank you, Lex, coach. Seahawks fan 12, that's weird. I don't know where the hell that came from. Thoughts on Leonard Williams' impact lately? Oh, Leonard Williams is awesome. The trade was a mistake, but Leonard Williams is great. Thank you, LFG. I appreciate that. Yeah, Ava. I'm probably going to do a birthday stream tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, didn't your PFP used to be Oscar? It's not anymore. I mean, it really like the Drew Lock thing. It's kind of like what's going on in New York with Tommy DeVito. You've got Giants fans now who are unironically thinking that Tommy DeVito's the franchise quarterback because he kind of sort of played okay for a few games there and they happened to win. Like, can we just like to quote the wolf from Pulp Fiction, can we not start sucking each other's popsicles yet? Can we like wait? Can we not suck each other's popsicles? We don't need to do that yet. Thoughts on how the games this Sunday went? They went pretty well. Yeah, I know, Dacian, but I was annoyed. I was like, I want to know who's going to start. Like, I was just like, come on, I just want to know who's going to start. Stop jerking me around. One second. Seahawks fan 12, what are you doing? Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like what the. What do you think you're doing, dude? Like, what the hell is this? There's so many different things you could be doing with your time right now, and you're choosing to do that. You're choosing to post stuff like that. What kind of money do you think Leo will demand in the offseason? Probably like 20 mil a year, maybe a little bit less. I don't drink, guys. I don't do any of that stuff. Like the meme? Okay.
Banned, 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 banned. Gone forever.
Lockett is washed. He has been okay and has a lot of bad plays. He's getting near the end for sure, but I feel like if we used him better, it would be okay. I feel like if we utilized him in a more intelligent way, things would be okay. I really do. I feel like a big part of the problem is we're asking him to do things that he can't do. I mean, I don't hate Dre'mont the way that some people do. He's not really playing that well. He hasn't lived up to expectations. I don't think he's been a disaster the way some people are painting it. I honestly can't comprehend the meat writing that goes on for a QB to play one good quarter. That's a great point. People get on my case because I say nice things about Geno Smith, and they're like, oh, he only had one good season. Drew Lock had one good quarter. Drew Lock had one good drive. These people tell on themselves constantly, man. Yeah, Drew Lock is a backup, and I mean, there have been a lot of backup quarterbacks actually performing well and winning games this year. Like, look at, Jake Browning. Look at Jake Browning. Are Do you think the Bengals are thinking like, oh, we need to get rid of Joe Burrow because we have Jake Browning now? No. They're like, hey, backup is came through for us a little bit here. Mike McGee, thank you for the $3. I know we won, but Carroll almost lost the game. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Mike McGee. Winning this game is great. And it did prove that Pete Carroll hasn't lost the team yet. But there are still massive problems with the way he runs this team. And winning this game doesn't undo those things. But here's the reality, guys. We probably can't get rid of Carroll no matter what. I don't think Carroll's going anywhere no matter what happens. Like, I think he would have to, like, literally... I think he would, like, have to literally start going into one of his, I think he would have to go into one of his press conferences and start saying the N-word or something. I think it would take something like that. He's not going to get fired for football reasons. That's not how it happens. So I think we just have to deal with it. And just accept that, hey, better to win. Let's at least try to have some fun. Realistically, Pete Carroll is probably going to go when the owner goes. Gino wouldn't be. You guys are really funny, guys. Drew Lock didn't do anything until the end of the game. My God, like you're actually gonna make me sit here after what happened in that game where Drew Lock leads that game-winning drive. You're gonna make me say negative things about Drew Lock because you guys are trying to invent stuff that didn't happen. Gino would have blown the Eagles out probably. Although, honestly, if we had scored more, the Eagles might have scored a little bit more. I don't know. But Gino would have beat the Eagles tonight with the way Hurts was playing for most of that game. Hey, we did run a pitch play with K9. It just didn't work. It didn't work at all, but we at least ran the pitch play. I'm cool with the JSN pick. We could have done better, but it's a good pick. Guys, all Drew Lock did for 90% of this game was check it down and hand it off. We don't need to make it more than what it actually was. All right? He was basically like Jimmy Garoppolo for 90% of that game. And then I don't know what the hell happened at the end there, but it was pretty beautiful. I mean, let's not forget things like the intentional grounding. That was pretty bad. So there were problems in there, but I don't really hate on Drew Lock for those things because he's a backup quarterback. Like when you have your backup quarterback in, the rest of the team has to step up, and they did. Well, Scotty, if that's the case, then why did they try so hard to get Gino in? Like think about it. If we were shadow benching Gino, then why the song and dance about us desperately trying to get him in the game? Jalen Hurts has not thrown a touchdown in his last 3 games. I don't know if Levis is done for the season, but I doubt he plays. Yeah, Austin, I'm probably going to do something like that. I'm going to need to switch things up just a little bit. Yeah, isn't that the truth, Mike McGee? There's so much truth to that. It's almost like, remember the Tim Tebow truthers? Remember the Tim Tebow truthers who kept trying to convince people that he was a great quarterback because the team kept winning games and he had all those game winning drives when all you had to do was watch football for 2 minutes and it would be like, okay, this guy can't throw the ball. That's what it's like sometimes. You want to enjoy it. Like, the Tebow stuff was fun. But then those people made it hard to enjoy it because you're just like, dude, shut up. It's fun because he sucks. That's why it's fun. It's not fun because he's actually good. No, then it would just be another quarterback. Yeah, guys, think about on that front too. Like, think about it. You think Pete is going to bail on Gino? That's his guy. Gino is his guy, man. Pete's not backing off of that. Lucas, you're funny. Well, I mean, at this point, I don't even know what Sean Desai does. Straight up. Like, he probably just stands there. Which is kind of what he did here, in fairness. He just stood there and watched. Yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen, Mike. Pete likes his guys. And all coaches do that. Let me be very clear about that. All coaches do that. They will maybe lose a little bit of faith in a player, but ultimately they're going to stick with them until it's completely untenable. Like all coaches do that. They get it in their head that one player is better than another player and it takes a ton of evidence for them to change their minds. Yeah, I wonder if Drew Lock gets a chance to start somewhere next year. I don't know. I was going to say Tampa Bay, but Baker's playing so well, maybe not. Is Desai your worst take? No, my worst take is that I thought Zach Wilson was going to be good in the NFL. I loved his pro day. I really liked Zach Wilson. Something I watched him at the combine and I was like, this guy's going to be a slightly smarter Josh Allen. Smaller Josh Allen. Dude has an awesome arm. It just don't matter. Wait, can you guys still hear me? Is something wrong with my stream? I think my stream might be acting up here. What's going on here? Is something wrong with my stream? I think something's wrong with my stream, man. Okay, I'm good. Never mind. Yeah, I love CJ Stroud by the end of his college career. He's looking nice. Yeah. If we win the last 3 games, we're getting in. Like, it's almost unthinkable that we don't. The interesting thing is, how do we get in if we lose 1 game? And I think our best path is for the Saints to fall apart, which means we actually want the Rams to win on Thursday. But I understand that some people won't be able to see it that way. Which one of these next 3 games do you think will be the hardest? Well, probably. I want to say the Cardinals game because it's a divisional game and Kyler's going to be a matchup problem. Bobby didn't look very good tonight, I don't think. He's just slow. I say we finish 10-7. That seems to be. That should be the expectation. Derrick Henry is looking very washed up, and I don't know who the Titans are even going to play at quarterback, so I can't be worried about them, really. Yeah, it would be very surprising if Gino was not back for next week. But we'll see how this week goes. And we showed today we're capable of winning without him, but it's hard. Well, yeah, Austin. The Packers still play the Vikings. So we need the Vikings to beat the Packers and then lose 2 games to the Lions would be preferable. And I think that's possible. But I mean, this team needs to win out in order to show that they at least improved a little bit from last year. If we go 10-7, then I will concede the team showed improvement. My issue will be their process did not improve. That's my concern. Our process is not improving, but the talent level on this team is improving, so we might be able to win out. Yeah, Chance, I know. Locke had problems in that game that people are just pretending don't exist because he led a game-winning drive. And by the way, that Eagles defense is terrible. Like, that Eagles defense is legitimately one of the worst defenses in the league. Last time Geno played, he had 350 yards and 4 touchdowns on the Cowboys on the road. One of the best defenses. Like, I don't understand how people can look at the. Like, I understand that Geno's had bad games this year, but I do not understand how people can look at the last game that Geno Smith played and be like, no, I don't want any of that. I don't want to see that. Like, what problems may you explain? What do you mean? He was inaccurate. He made some bad decisions. He was check down Charlie and dump off Dennis for most of the game. He didn't start pushing the ball down the field at all until the last 2 minutes, basically. He played like Tom Tupa. Like, yeah, guys. We had 3 points in the first half. I think we had 1 first down in the first 22, 23 minutes of the game. There were problems. Let's just enjoy this win. Let's just enjoy this win without having to make this something that it's not. That's what I'm going to say. Was it really Locke or just the coaching staff holding it back? I don't know. But if that's the case, then why does the coaching staff not trust him at all? Because if what you're saying, if what you're suggesting is true, then the coaching staff thinks that he's incompetent, which is really bad. Which is really bad because we gave him $4 million. I think Locke's saving grace is how fast he gets rid of the ball. I mean, sure. And there are things about that are great. But the last time we saw Geno Smith play, he did not take a single sack despite getting pressured on 54% of his dropbacks. So, and he has been sacked at a relatively low rate this year despite having a higher than average pressure rate. So, this idea that Geno takes a lot of sacks is not even remotely close to being true. Very goofy. Like, I was fully prepared to get on this channel after this game and be like, man, I wanted to see Drew Lock's arm a couple times, and I was like, we didn't get to see him use his arm at all. And then finally at the end he did, and it was beautiful. The one arm catch by DK should have been a pick. Yeah, that was not a good throw. That was DK saving Drew's sexy ass. Man. So, I don't know. Most of you guys in the chat probably won't care. This has nothing to do with Seahawks. But earlier today, James McCaffrey passed away of cancer, which is really sad. And for those of you who don't know who James McCaffrey is, he was the voice of Max Payne in the Max Payne trilogy. So I wanted to do a stream of Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne, tonight to kind of honor him. But it's already 11 o'clock, and I have to go to the gym tomorrow. And tomorrow's my birthday. I'm going to want to do some stuff. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do it tonight, which is too bad because I was actually pretty sad when I heard about it. Like the original Max Payne was a big part of my childhood. Thank you, everybody. But yeah, James McCaffrey passed away of cancer earlier today. But if I end up deciding to do a little bit of Max Payne tonight, that's going to be over on Twitch. If you guys aren't already following me on Twitch, you should, because I stream over there probably like 5 times a week at least. Mason, it has problems, but I don't mind it. I'm gonna drop a rack on one of your streams one day. What's a rack? When I think rack, I think poker chips. How to see you on Twitch? There's a link in my description to my Twitch page. $1,000 is a rack. When I think rack of poker chips, which I mean it depends on how much the poker chips are worth, but I usually think $500. Well, I will appreciate that when whenever you do that, Nick Taylor. Yeah, the original Max Payne was a game I played a ton when I was a kid. Like way more than I should have because I actually kind of started getting into speedrunning it. Thank you, Leo. 500 is a max dono, so make 2 accounts. You could tip it. When you tip, you actually do see the noti. You get the noti on screen. The fees on tipping are super low compared to Superchats. I'm just going to say it. Did you see that balderdash? What are you talking about, Corey? What's balderdash? Do you expect for next year that the Cardinals and Rams be better a lot? Um Cardinals, yes. Rams, I wonder if Stafford retires. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, I saw that, Corey. I definitely saw that. Yeah, Mason, I think the Rams beat the Niners because I think the Niners are going to get to rest starters. I don't mind having a birthday near Christmas because usually what I do is at the end of every year, I take a ton of time off of work and I just string it all together so I get like more than 2 weeks off. And it's kind of nice. Like today was the last day I'm going to work this year. I worked today and I'm not going to work tomorrow and I'm not going to work again until after the new year. We're not beating the Niners in the playoffs. The goal would be to get in and then beat Philly or beat Dallas or beat Detroit, which we could do those. We almost beat Dallas in Dallas already. We beat Philly. We beat Detroit in Detroit. We can beat those teams. We just can't get past the Niners. Ravens beating San Fran come Christmas? I don't know. Not really, no. I think San Fran's just got too many good players. I think they're a little too stacked. Until they start getting injured, I don't know what's going to stop them. What does the YouTube stream schedule look like in the off season? Well, I'll do 1 to 2 streams a week with the Hawk's Nest for most of the off season. I'll stream for the draft. I'll stream for free agency. Other than that, it just kind of depends on whatever I think makes sense. Like I might do more streams for the free agency and draft lead up, but I don't know how many people are interested in that. How many people want to go into a stream to just talk about like receiver prospects or defensive tackle prospects? Like a lot of people don't care about that. They just want to see the draft. They just want to watch the draft itself. Giants will be able to get rid of the contracted Jones? Probably not. I think they got to go roll with Daniel Jones for 1 more year, maybe draft his replacement, and then just kind of take it. Yeah, exactly, Ian. I would be okay. I would be totally cool right now if we had beaten the Rams that second time. Like, there would be nothing. I wouldn't be panicking. I wouldn't be freaking out. I would just be like, well, we're not great, but we're decent. We're good. We're workable. This is fine. I don't watch chat sports videos, Cole Taylor. All right, guys. So I'm kind of thinking. I'm kind of thinking I'm not going to be able to stream tonight. I don't think I'm going to be able to stream tonight on Twitch. So I think it's just going to have to be, we're just going to have to let that go. I really wanted to stream it because McCaffrey died today. But I don't think it's going to happen. No, Mason. I think that if a game genuinely makes me angry, I should capture that. If a game actually makes me upset like that, I should probably capture it in the stream or in the video. Like, I don't want to be like EDP, but if I genuinely reacted like that, I think that I should represent it in the stream. By the way, guys, if you haven't liked, please do so. We're up to almost 70 likes on the stream right now. I haven't been to any of those in a long time, Shalamov. I haven't played Atomic Heart yet. It looks okay. Favorite movie ever is Goodfellas. Would any other team sign Disley? Not if he's gonna be so banged up and beat up he can't play. You don't play too much. I play a ton of video games, Chalamov. I just didn't get to oh, I play too much video games, probably. That might be true. Who do you think is better than Walker skill rise? Well, Bijan is better. Other than that, I don't know. Running backs are hard, man. But Bijan's better. Chubb, yeah, okay, there's a good one. CMC's probably about to fall off a cliff. He gets way too much action. All right, it looks like things are starting to wind down, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. We went for about an hour, a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and get a video uploaded for tomorrow morning. I'm going to probably set up some other stuff. And yeah, tomorrow is Tuesday. So we're going to have to catch up a little bit on video stuff. But I'm feeling pretty good right now, and I think you guys should too. Better than being sad. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I don't think I'm streaming on Twitch tonight. I got to go to bed. I'm tired.